Speaking of just chatting, bro, I think bro sent me a video that they wanted me to watch. And as a hardcore player myself, I feel like I might have to be offended by this video. So I'm not too sure what's going on here, bro. You know, I'm gonna hear him out though. I'm gonna hear him out. Let me listen unbiasedly. Let me listen wholeheartedly to what this lovely young man has to say. I'm sure it's nothing but positivity. He won't be attacking anybody for no reason, especially in a single player RPG where your actions have absolutely zero effect on anybody else in your bracket.
Wuthering Waves, I consider myself a tier below hardcore. I play, I min-max here or there if I have a favorite character, but I'm not gonna sit here and try to exhaust the entire game in a week. It's like
That's fine, man. You don't like. Here's what I think about that, right? Why does it matter? Again, this is a okay, bro. Don't say called out, bro. This is a single player game. If I want to max out the map in a week and you don't, what does that got to do with you, bro? What does that have to do with you? How am I ruining your game? How am I ruining your game, man? You know how many players probably played as hard as I did when the game, like on release for that first week? Not a lot. I'd say maybe, and this is me being generous, maybe 10% of people went that hard out of the fucking 90 other percent of people that were just chilling, enjoying the game, completing shit here, doing shit there. Like there was probably 10% that actually did that first week.
These people buy a family-sized box of cereal and they eat it within 2 to 3 days.
Now, I will say I used to do this. Okay, I will give this to him, but let's be real. This, like, the best part of Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the bottom where all the dust is at. Y'all know what I'm talking about? It's been a long time since I've done this, but I used to get Cinnamon Toast Crunch and I used to try to eat it all because I wanted the dust, the cinnamon dust at the bottom. That shit was so good, man. Oh my God, he's not wrong here. He's not wrong here.
Bro, learn some fucking serving sizes. I'm gonna go through some points on why I think these people are ruining the
Fruity Pebbles were great. Fruity Pebbles and the Captain Crunch berries shits. The Captain Crunch berries and Fruity Pebbles. Oh my God, bro. You ate Fruity Pebbles without milk is crazy. That shit was different with milk. That shit was different with milk. Oh my God.
They're gonna cause some issues for this game, and you can't really do anything about it because if people enjoy the game this much and they want to min-max it, and they want to 100% everything, they should be able to do this 100%. Right. But I think it has a lot of negative effects on the development of these games. So I want to go through how these actually affect the game.
We're gonna hear him out because genuinely, I don't feel like there's any negative effects to people playing the game quickly again in a single player game, because first of all, there's only 10%. Let me hear what he got to say first. Let me see what he got to say.
Content exhaustion. I hate how the game will come out and you have these people that will beat every single piece of content. And I talked about this a long time ago about how hardcore players were gonna beat the hard content on day one. And I don't think anyone's reached that level because I think the devs understood, yeah, these people, they gonna run through the content. That's why you can't upgrade your echoes.
Okay, so I think the only time there's an issue with people completing all the content like very quickly is when they start acting like there's no content when they're done, right? Games like this aren't meant to be played 20 hours a day. They're meant to be played in increments of maybe like 30 minutes to an hour at a time when you have time in the middle of your day and you're just chilling on your phone, want to do something. It's a mobile game, bro. You know? So I think hardcore players that complete everything and then say, this game is so boring, there's nothing to do, I'm just doing this all the time. That's when it's an issue. I don't think it affects the development of the game at all. I think that they would have built this game the exact same way, whether or not they knew people were gonna try to 100% it or not, because the population of people that do that are so small. This game is built for the casual player that will get on, use their energy, level up what they can and then get off.
They bottleneck Echo XP. Like, they put all these locks on the game because they know these people are going to just run through everything.
What does he mean by these people? I'm offended by that. I take offense to that. And I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
You can't upgrade your echoes. They bottleneck Echo XP. Like, they put all these locks on the game because they know these people are going to just run through everything. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I mean, I've run through some of the content, but I know, let me take my time because there are update cycles in these games. And if you just run through everything, you're going to be the one in someone's chat. You're going to be the one in someone's video comments talking about, bro, there's no content. Where's the content?
Yeah. Okay, I agree with him on this point. The only time it's an issue is when people are acting like there's no content. But the other stuff, the devs are not basing their development off of hardcore players. No game does that. Even MMOs. I feel like once a game has been established enough, then you'll see, like, let's say like down the road, like RuneScape, for example, they just started adding in content that's catered to hardcore, like the high level community, right? Everything else is kind of babyish shit. And that game has been out for like 20 years. So it's one of them things you really gotta look at it like they're not gonna be adding that content in for high level players. It's for the casual community. And if the casual community is the vocal majority, then that's what the development cycle is gonna be based around.
What should I do? Oh, this game's trash. It has no content. Why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? It's like, dude, you did everything you're supposed to do.
I do agree with
this. Becoming a billionaire.
This point.
You beat the game. You ain't got nothing to do. I mean, just imagine the strain that this will have on devs because they build something that's supposed to be done within a certain cycle. That causes people to call the game bad and there's nothing to do. It's boring. It's like, no, dude, you're the one that's just playing 16 hours a day, bro. Imagine if you
I agree with this point.
And did something else with it. Imagine how your life would be. Anyway, I think people pushing the game to its limit the first few days causes the devs to release lower quality updates. And
again, I disagree with this point. I don't think that it's the same thing I said before. They're not basing anything that they're doing off of us, off of the high level community. I don't know why I'm using that. It's not fucking RuneScape. It's called the HLC in RuneScape. But off of hardcore players, I don't know what's the term that we're giving gotcha people that do that. Is there a term for that? Like outside of high level community, because I wouldn't really classify anything in the gotcha game as high level. Pay piggies, no lifer. Pay piggies is fucking insane. Pay piggies is crazy. Gotcha grinders, but I don't think that they're pushing because of higher level players. Oilers is a good one. Tryhards. Yeah, I genuinely think that they have a cycle. They have times that they want to drop shit that's going to be best for them. For example, they pushed up this Yinland banner. A lot of people are saying they're scared of Genshin. I think it's a good move that they moved this banner because obviously there's a lot going on at the end of this month. You got Genshin's dropping their new shit, all that. I think for them, monetarily wise, it was the best move to move the banner up. The actual content drop is still happening on the same date. So we'll actually get to start touching on a lot of that new content, and that will be the thing that combats whether or not people want to play Genshin or Wuthering Waves. And I think that we'll see people coming in, and I think that's when we'll see people that are like trying out Wuthering Waves from Genshin really get the feel of which game they want to play. Is when 1.1 drops and they go back to Genshin when the new character comes out. They get the new character, they're using them, they're like, damn, I kind of miss running up walls and parrying and perfect dodging. And like this game was really cool. And then that's when the decision is gonna come as to whether or not they didn't like all that extra shit or they did like all that extra shit, and that's when they're gonna choose their game. So I think they set this up perfectly, really, and I don't think that it had anything to do with how much players progress.
I think we've seen this with a lot of games. I'm not going to mention other games because I don't feel like dealing with shills and crybabies, but you can think of the games that you probably know what I'm talking about, where over time the updates just felt rushed, things weren't thought through, the events kind of sucked. And I think devs do this to kind of satiate the hardcore players or people who just push all the content, because it's like, okay, well, we got to shut them up. They're right. The content, there is no content in the game. So, I mean, we got to add something.
Again, they know what they're doing. If you guys have seen, like, again, I know I always bring up PGR when I'm talking about Wuthering Waves. It's the same developers, so I like to use them as a standing point, bro. They have an amazing roadmap for PGR, bro. From like the beginning of the game, their roadmap was amazing. And I have no doubt in my mind that the content that Wuthering Waves, as somebody that's completed 100% of everything, I have no doubt in my mind that Wuthering Waves will bring some fire ass updates, some fire ass events, some fire ass bosses to this game that will blow everybody's mind. And, you know, comparing a 4-year-old game to a 2-week-old game is insane to me to begin with. But all we can do now is wait to see how they both grow.
And I feel like they don't actually get a chance to just really make something special. But I feel like this is a issue that happens in most games that probably will happen with this game, because this game is more of a hardcore experience. Now, I'll be honest, okay? I like this one. I like this point here. I like this issue. So exploit discovery.
I'm gonna keep it a bug. I feel like if you're a hardcore player, you're not using exploits. I don't think you can call yourself a hardcore player if you're trying to take shortcuts through shit. You know? I think genuine hardcore players like to do shit themselves because that's where they get their endorphins from, is the grind and finishing something. That's me personally. I love a good grind, bro. And if something gets done too fast, I don't get that fucking sense, that feel. I like to feel that, bro. Which is why I didn't do that slowdown bug that everybody was trying to get me to do to clear everything out. Like, I wasn't gonna do that, because for what? I want to actually clear this content one day when I'm actually able to do it. Why am I just gonna go finish it now? Swiping is taking a shortcut? I think swiping is taking a shortcut if you completely max a character. I think if you enjoy a character's playstyle and you want to summon a character because you think that they're cool, you're not getting a crazy buff for that, you know?
Because hardcore players 100% the game, for the next 3 weeks, what you gonna do? Try to exploit the game. Try to min-max. This is just the cycle of life. This is,
again, I don't think that every hardcore player is going to be trying to exploit the game. I think you have a couple of people that enjoy doing that. There is a community of people that like to exploit the game. I wouldn't call them hardcore players. I'd call them bug abusers. Some people don't even progress at all, and they start trying to find bugs. And I would say that has nothing to do with hardcore players. There's literally a guy named Rendy Minto on YouTube whose entire channel was built off of finding bugs in RuneScape. And he would make a video, report it to Jagex, and then he would upload the video after Jagex fixed it. You know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, exploiting and being a hardcore player are two different things, bro. You know, some people just like bug abusing. Some people like to find bugs to have fun with. Some people like to find bugs to get them fixed. Like, there's a bunch of different like categories here, and you don't have to be a hardcore player to fit into any of them.
this is just what happens. And you find little hacks and exploits and cheats to bypass the regular game mechanics.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with hardcore players.
Exploits right now, and I'll be honest. I'm using them shit too, okay? Look, I'm there with you. I'm there with you. Look, I get it. But I'm just saying, although I like it, I think it's still bad for the game. I 100% do, because these exploits contribute to the content exhaustion, the pacing issues, which causes the devs to have to force updates or give low quality updates. And maybe this does or doesn't affect it, but it seems like it. I'm not at their headquarters developing the game. Maybe it doesn't affect anything. And if it doesn't, great.
Feedback overload.
Now I want to talk about the feedback overload, because I think these people are so unaware of themselves, they don't realize they are the problem. Now, I'm all for feedback and criticism.
He's been showing a lot of monkeys in this video.
But I think
Let me stop.
There is a point in which it's too.
Bro, I'm like that. Am I wrong though? He has these ones here. Wait. And then back here he was on Felly and Bellringle mad long, bro. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, bro.
On the game because they know these people.
I'm just saying, bro.
Oh, I like it. I think Exhaustion, the pacing issues, which causes.
I'm just saying maybe he's racist. I don't know. Maybe he's getting his rocks off. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what he's got going on, man.
Force updates or give local.
Maybe he's got him some bathing apes, you know? Maybe he's trying to get a nice little drop or something.
Updates. And maybe this does or doesn't affect it, but it seems like it. I'm not at their headquarters developing the game. Maybe it doesn't affect anything. And if it doesn't, great.
He's calling exploiters monkeys.
Now I want to talk about the feedback overload because I think these people are so unaware of themselves. They don't realize they are the problem. Now I'm all for feedback and criticism, but I think there is a point in which it's too much. And it's like, all right, bro, you're asking for way too much. And I think that since these people are so aggressive, a lot of other issues get overshadowed because it's like, oh, well, we gotta help these people because look how much they're complaining. And I think a lot of the issues that hardcore adjacent players experience aren't necessarily issues that.
I'm trying to think of any like issues that I've heard about in this game that people have like actively been like vocal about that haven't been real issues. And I can't really think of one. What was it? The lock-on system? It was the loot mapper, the map not being 100%. Let's see. I can't really think of any issues that I've heard of that weren't like real issues, and they were all addressed and they're all either fixed or being fixed. So I don't see this as an issue either. What do you guys know of anything that's been like bullshit that people have been complaining about? Does he bring anything up? Let me listen to him. Maybe he brings something up specifically.
That needs to be handled right away when you could just wait for the next update, but it's like they want them to rush and it's like, dude, just let them cook a little bit.
Okay, so no, they don't exist. They don't exist. There's not, like, whatever he was just talking about, that whole little segment is invalid because he didn't even bring up a point, bro. What are people complaining about that weren't real issues? And then what did that have to do with the hardcore players? Why are we brought into that, bro?
Next, I want to talk about unrealistic expectations. Now, I'll be real. I'm a part of this too, okay? We all do this. We all imagine how the game could be or should be, but I think this is mostly bad for the game. I don't necessarily think.
Wait, what was this point?
A little bit. Next update, but necessarily.
Am I missing something?
To rush and it's like, dude, just let them cook a little bit.
Expectations, okay.
Next, I want to talk about unrealistic expectations. Now, I'll be real. I'm a part of this too, okay? We all do this. We all imagine how the game could be or should be, but I think this is mostly bad for the game. I don't necessarily think being hardcore is the specific issue with this.
Okay, I'm glad he said that because it's crazy. It's crazy to try to put that on a whole group of people, like a specific group of people. Whenever a game is announced, there's always going to be an expectation for that game, unless it's made by Netmarble. Then there might not be. But otherwise, there's always going to be an expectation put around that game, that it's going to be at least somewhat good.
I think it's mostly all players, but you see it more from like hardcore players or the hardcore audience in general, where they'll apply these crazy expectations of the game because, you know, they're like, oh man, what if this mechanic could do this? Oh, the next character is going to be busted. Oh, they're going to blah, blah, blah. And we've.
That's just like fun talk though. Like that's just that's just boys being boys. You know, like, damn, I really wish this was in the game. Damn, I really wish they had this. That's just like fresh talk, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just fresh talk. I genuinely don't think that's a problem. Boy, it's just boys being boys. Like, you do that with every game. I do that with RuneScape to this day. Like, damn, it'd be nice if they added this in there. It's never gonna happen, but it would be nice. Same thing with New World, other like actual MMOs, like just games in general. Destiny, damn, it'd be real cool if I could do this in Destiny. It's just people talking about games, man. I don't think it's a bad thing. I guess if you're actually expecting them to do it, that's when it would become a problem. If you're getting mad at the developers for not, I can see that. But just talking about it, like, man, I really wish they did this. I don't think it's an issue.
I've seen this a million times, and I think this hurts the game because the reality is often disappointing. Perfect example I can give for this is Genshin. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if they added a character that did this and did this? Oh, dude, they could update the mechanics. They could do this. Oh, dude, they can buff this character. And then when they don't do it, we're like, oh, the game's trash. You can't apply these high expectations to a game.
I mean, you can't use, I'm not even gonna say that, y'all. Let's just say, if we're talking about trash games already, you can't use that. You can't use that as your basis for hoping for stuff. I'm not saying I'm talking about the game he was talking about. Okay? I'm not saying I'm talking about the game he was talking about. I'm just saying, if you're talking about a trash game already, you can't really use that as an example.
Didn't plan on even being that thing that you wanted to be. And I think Genshin is that, where it's like, yo, we're just casual. Like, we weren't trying to be a hardcore game. Like, what y'all doing? It's like
Yeah. I think Genshin is like low-key made for kids. If I had a toddler, I think that I would give them the iPad and let them play Genshin. I think they'd be fine.
Fortnite, they even added no build because, like, bro, we never wanted to be a freaking try-hard cracked game. We just wanted a fun game for people to play, and y'all just want to.
It's for the iPad kids.
Back to Genshin Impact. Yeah, people, they had these crazy expectations, and they never ever capitalized on them at all, like literally at all. I mean, we have Wuthering Waves today, so I think that we worked out fine, right? We're good. We're handled. Okay, we're handled. Thanks, Kiro. But still, yeah, I think unrealistic expectations could hurt games, and it does hurt games. So with Wuthering Waves, I feel like a lot of people say, "Oh, dude, the next characters are gonna be so cracked." They should, but when they're not, we just, oh, we're so disappointed. Oh God, how could they not make the best thing ever created in the universe? I mean, you gotta sit in reality. Not every character is going to be busted. Not everything is going to be this and that. And you don't know.
Are we still talking about expectations, or did you move on
with the game? And I think Wuthering Waves is going to be fine, 100%. But I'm talking about it because I see it becoming a problem slowly but surely.
I haven't
now
seen
we're going
it.
to talk about the meta. Now this one is under my skin personally because I think this actually ruins the game.
So again, bro, is describing the entire gacha community. I think meta. Let me think about. So meta can be very annoying. Okay, I'm not gonna say it ruins the game. Some people do need help in building their teams and characters and everything like that. I do think that it's very annoying when people come into chat and try to tell you how to play the game, right? Like if you're doing fine, if you're killing stuff, if you're just chilling, having a good time, somebody's like, why are you not using fucking Chicken Little with the baseball bat? Like that's his signature weapon. Why do you have it on goddamn Pinocchio? I don't know, man. This is how I wanted to play today, I guess. Like when people are getting mad at you for playing the game your way, I think that's when meta is fucking annoying. Outside of that, I do think that everybody using the same characters, again, if they're having fun playing the game, that's all that matters at the end of the day. I think that it is a little bit crazy, like if you're a viewer, to jump from stream to 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 stream and seeing no variety, right? Like I think that's a little bit, that I can see that being a little bit like, damn, is this game different for anybody? Years after Genshin, this same convo is still happening. I genuinely have, like, I don't know, man. This conversation is gonna happen every time a good game comes out with banners. Anytime a game has a banner where you can specifically select your character, this is going to be a conversation. Because genuinely, Summoner's War, you have no choice. You summon and you get what the fuck you get. You can't say, I want to try to pull for this character. There's 100-something 5-stars in that bitch, 200-something 5-stars in that bitch, and you could get any of them. You have no idea which one you're going to get. So you have no choice but to figure out how to use them jokers. How do they fit my team? You have to figure that out with your units. You can't say I'm guaranteed to get these units, you know? So I genuinely think that it's a mix on how I feel about meta. I think meta can help people actually progress through the game if they have no idea what they're doing. But it does look, from a viewer perspective, if everybody's using the same people, it can be weird. And it can be annoying if people are trying to force it down your throat. So I'm gonna hear what he has to say about it, and then we can take his points in as well.
This is the thing that ruins the game in its entirety. So the metas. And who creates the metas? The hardcore players. The reason this is an issue.
I don't think that hardcore players are making metas. I think it's people with time. I think people with time are the ones making meta. People do all these calculations with numbers and shit, and they use hardcore players' accounts because they have everything on them to do it. I genuinely don't think that most of the people that are doing meta stuff are actually probably hardcore players, because they're taking all their time just doing numbers.
Because with games where you have builds and stuff like that, where you can have classes, or let's just stick to Wuthering Waves, you can build your character and you have this ecosystem. I think the fun is building your own character, finding out your own builds. But when you have these people that just automatically apply meta, say, oh, you're not optimizing your character great enough. Oh man, you need to have this echo, you need to have this. It's like, bro, like.
Okay, so he's kind of saying the same thing as me. He's just saying it a little bit differently here. He's annoyed that people are trying to tell him how to play the game.
Like, let people experiment and have fun with the build, and it's like you put pressure on people. Oh well, you're not gonna beat this boss if you don't have this.
He's kind of on the same page as me.
Content is figuring out the hard content. Why are you stripping the fun away from the game, which is building the fucking character?
Now, I will say this. The only people that really are going through this to this degree are content creators, right? Because people come in the chat and they're like, you need to be using this character, right? As a casual, if this is something you're going through, it's your choice, right? And again, the 10% of the hardcore players, if they're probably going to be looking up the meta videos. The casual players, if they want to, if they're like, dang, how do I use Calcharo? They'll look it up, right? The other 85% that don't care, that are just there to enjoy the game, if they it's their decision whether or not they look that up. From that point, it's their decision whether or not they decide, I want to do this today. You know, I want to look up and see what's going on with Verena. But if not, then they could just play the game. They're not content creators. Nobody's gonna come in and be like, why are you using this character with this echo? This is a content creator problem. This is not a casual player problem.
Character. Why would I even play the game if you just gonna play it for me? But then when you have these people that just completely min-max and they force you and pressure you into building it a certain way because, oh, if you don't have the optimal build, you're a loser. Let me give you an example. What's his name? Ling Yang. Everyone said, oh, he's trash, he's so garbage. Bro, when I got that dude to my account, he obliterated everything. What?
This is only an issue that you see if you're looking for it. If you pull Ling Yang and you're like, oh my God, his kit's so cool, it's up to you to then go to the internet and see a bunch of people saying he's bad and being like, oh, well, I guess I don't want to use him anymore. If you were having fun, keep fucking using them. You know?
What are you talking about? He's trash. How is he trash? Wow, he does 1% less than Calcharo. Shut up. He's not fucking trash. There's no character in the game that is trash. That's why I say, bro, this is so annoying where it's like this meta, because these people are operating on like of the 1%. Like, oh man, well, this character is actually way better because they do 2% more damage in this specific scenario. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Here's my rule. If it does 20% extra,
he's coping from missing the 50-50.
it's better. If it does anything less, I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. This one riles me up. Maybe I'm doing too much. And if I'm doing too much, let me know down in the...
They must be going crazy in his chat and comments talking about he's doing stuff wrong, y'all. He got to be going crazy. People got to be on his ass about changing his units up.
Let's just move.
He was heated about, he was yelling at us, man.
Okay, let's move on to the last point here.
Monotony.
This last one is adjacent to the meta, and it's gameplay monotony. I think this is bad because if everyone is playing the game the exact same way, what the fuck is the point of playing the game? Everyone...
That is kind of what I said. Again, just in a different way. Just in a different way. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. But I do think as a viewer, from a viewer standpoint, if you're looking for like different ways to play with different units and stuff, if everybody has the same exact stuff going on, it can look a little crazy from a viewer perspective, especially as somebody that might be trying to get into the game.
Has the same exact build, they have the same exact artifacts, echoes on their characters. I think this is bad for the game because it's just like, bro, the point of having a ecosystem or artifact system is so that people can build the characters they want, how they want, and try different things. And I think more specifically the ecosystem, because the echoes have abilities themselves, so you can really customize your build. But what I've been seeing is a lot of people just using the same fucking template, the same shit. It's so bad. We're talking team comp. People is playing the same team comps. Oh, you play more Mortify with this character and you gotta play. It's like, what? Oh, it's gonna make the game feel boring. You're watching a video and you're copying to a T what that person does, and you're not actually having the fun. Because
see, and this is crazy because he's telling people how they're having fun, bro. He's telling people how they're having fun. He said if you're doing this, you're not having fun. That's literally what he just said. I'm letting him say it again just in case y'all missed it.
You're watching a video and you're copying to a T what that person does, and you're not actually having the fun. Because
you're not having the fun, guys, if you guys watch videos. Again, that's a choice that somebody makes. How are you going to tell them that they're not having fun when they feel that power boost when they use the meta, bro? They have the characters, somebody explains how to use the characters, they learn how to use the characters, they enjoy playing the right way. I don't think that's a bad thing. Now, this is from an unbiased perspective. I have made absolutely zero character guides, zero build guides, zero anything guides, right? I haven't talked about a fucking character yet, okay? on YouTube at all, bro. I barely know the characters' fucking names at this point. I have, like, this is from an unbiased perspective. If somebody wants to watch a video to learn how to play the game and enjoys themselves after they do it, that's cool. And if they don't have to. That's a choice that people make. That's a decision people make. This is a little silly, I think.
the fun of the game isn't beating the hard content. It's learning how to fucking beat the content. Oh man, how do I beat Memphis or Tempest? Well, his name is so stupid.
Here's the thing, you still have to learn how to do that. Even if you have a meta team, you can still get fucked on that Tempest Memphis, bro. Like, he's still gonna shit on you if you ask. You still have to learn how to use your team, especially once you hit stage 4. Do whatever you want, but you still have to learn. Like, having somebody help you build your team doesn't teach you how to play the game. You don't automatically start dodging, parrying, and all this stuff because you got a new team, bro. Like, it doesn't work that way. You still gotta have that skill.
They tried to rhyme it. You're not Dr. Seuss. Sit down, Kiro. This is just how I feel. I feel like this really ruins games, and it would be nice to see different stuff. And maybe this is Kiro's fault for just putting stuff in the game where you can only do something one way. But what I've seen is there's tons of other builds that people use that are just as good or better than what.
The other thing is, the game is still really early. You know, there's gonna be a select few characters that people have, right? There's only 5 standard banner units, I think, Gion and Yinlin now, right? So there might be another one. I might be forgetting one of the standard banner units or something, but there's not a lot of standard banner units, and there's a couple of banner units. There's only so many teams people can build right now. The game has been out for 2 weeks. The teams are gonna look similar right now. Everybody has the same 3 units. We got a picker. Everybody picked Verena out that bitch. Or Encore. Everybody chose one of them two out that fucking picker, man. Like, what are we, or called Charo, if they didn't get called Charo out the beginner banner. Like, everybody's choosing the same fucking unit. It is what it is at this point. And then as down the road, when the game starts to progress and we get more units and we get more echoes, we'll start seeing different builds. People will be trying different stuff. People will have different units that they enjoy using. People will say, this guy sucks, but I like him. He actually still does a good damage. I'm not using them. Like, we'll be able to do that. But right now, the characters are so set in stone as to who is the strongest character. There's no debating it. People are going to want to use the strongest people. You know, you'll have the few people that want to use characters based off of their defensive abilities, like Mars, because he can't dodge or parry. But then you'll have people that actually know how to play the game that like to use faster characters. You know what I'm saying?
What the meta is. So yeah, I think the hardcore players definitely create this like repetitive environment
And it's not hardcore players' fault, bro.
In games. So yeah, that's the video. That's just what I want to talk about today. Subscribe, like, and comment. You know,
I'm gonna share his channel, y'all. This guy's name is Nair GG. You know, I reacted to his video. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be a dickhead and not share his channel with y'all. Share this video with y'all. Listen, he had some good points. He had some stuff I agreed with. He had some bad points, some stuff that I disagreed with, you know, but overall, he feels the way he feels about the game. And, you know, he has his right to do that, man, you know? He has his right to do that. I respect it, man. I respect it. Is this his first gotcha? It's crazy.